A Beverly Hills mansion. Gunfire shatters the silence. Two parents lie dead, shot execution style. Their sons, Erik and Lyle Menendez, are the ones who made the frantic 911 call. But soon, suspicion falls on them. Was it a cold-blooded killing for inheritance, or the violent climax of years of abuse? This is a story of wealth, horror, and one chilling question. Can murder ever be justified? Welcome to Crime Vault, where we peel back the curtain on the world's most chilling and complicated crimes. Today, we examine a case that gripped America in the 90s and continues to haunt the true crime world decades later. The Menendez Brothers. Two boys. Two dead parents. And a story that forces us to question everything we thought we knew about family, trauma, and justice. On the night of August 20th, 1989, Beverly Hills police responded to a frantic 911 call. Lyle Menendez, then 21, screamed into the phone, "Somebody killed my parents." Inside the Spanish-style estate, José and Kitty Menendez lay lifeless, brutally shot with 12-gauge shotguns. José took a blast to the back of the head. Kitty's injuries were so extreme, she was nearly unrecognizable. There were no signs of forced entry, no missing valuables, and the brutality felt personal. The killers? Nowhere to be found. But in a matter of months, suspicion would fall close to home, on their two sons, Lyle and Erik. To the outside world, the Menendez family was the American dream personified. José Menendez was a Cuban immigrant who built an empire as a Hollywood executive. Kitty, a former teacher, stood by his side. Lyle and Erik grew up in wealth, attending elite schools, playing tennis, driving luxury cars. But behind the gates and polished smiles, Erik and Lyle would later describe a darker world, one of control, fear, and horrific abuse. In court, they claimed their father was a tyrant, sexually abusing Erik for years. Kitty, they said, turned a blind eye. Were these confessions a genuine cry for justice, or a calculated ploy to escape the consequences of murder? For months, the brothers lived freely, spending hundreds of thousands on Rolex watches, Porsches, and lavish getaways. But detectives noticed the money trail and the absence of grief. Then a breakthrough. Erik confessed to his therapist. That therapist's mistress, fearing for her safety, alerted police. Suddenly, the walls closed in. The brothers were arrested in 1990. The media frenzy began, and so did the debate. Was it murder for money, or the last act of two sons pushed to their psychological limits? The prosecution argued greed. The defense painted a portrait of unspeakable trauma. Jurors sat stunned as Erik tearfully recalled years of alleged abuse, including graphic descriptions of what he endured. But the evidence was murky. No witnesses. No physical proof. Just word against the dead. America was torn. Some saw two murderers trying to manipulate the system. Others saw broken victims finally breaking free. The second trial, held without cameras and with limited testimony on abuse, ended in a different way. In 1996, both brothers were convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, without the possibility of parole. But questions remained. If their story of abuse was true, had the justice system ignored trauma in favor of punishment? And if it wasn't, how far would someone go to avoid a life of responsibility? It's been over 3 decades since the shots rang out in Beverly Hills. Yet the Menendez case refuses to fade. Today, movements online demand their release, claiming new evidence, and the reckoning of past abuse scandals deserve a second look. Others argue justice was already served. So, were Erik and Lyle Menendez victims, monsters, or both? Tell us what you believe in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories where truth is darker than fiction. This is Crime Vault.